Stuff that he has thrown away.
I thought it was on a slow dumping, but hadn't done.
You know what it was? It was when the weather was good, the very beginning part, he had dumpster, big dumpster.
Oh, okay.
Everything. That's that new style stuff, we put it in the bags,
Yeah.
and they're dumping it and they bring more bags.
Oh, so that's what it does.
So I don't know what I did to the screen, but it ain't.
It's not good. Okay, good. So I think
No, we're on here.
I
I don't know what I did to do anything. I don't know. I don't even watch television. I got one TV that I've been using.
I don't even know. So this turns it right off.
That makes two.
I got the one I use. So this turns the volume. As far as
No, President Thomas.
Yeah, not the big.
Can you see me? I mean, can you see the screen or?
I did not know that. It's not like.
I read this book all the way to
I know they put one in my own church and it's not. They have a historic church.
All right, let me get your eyes on the phone.
Yeah.
But it was a housing. One person did it.
Right.
It's a book. Get it in.
Okay.
They tell you it breaks the country down.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how do I get the TV back to the YouTube channel?
It's the input. So just like your TV. Yeah, so press the input button on the
The black one. The input button is what? I got that. I see the home button.
No, not on that remote, the black one. Because I can see you just fine. It's just you can't see me.
Oh,
Yeah, it should be like a source input. And try HDMI 1.
Hello, I meant to tell you.
I know, right?
If not, I can just shoot down there. I can see and hear you fine. You just can't see. You just can't see us the other way.
I know.
So you're looking
Looking for the input button. Display audio.
So yeah, source and input are the same thing.
Yeah, right. You got your mic.
Post not found. Right.
Have liars. They have somebody.
Okay.
I don't know.
How you doing, man?
Because that's what you have to make sure of that. Right, because that's what I said.
There's. Oh, wait, here it is. Honestly, don't.
Agree that yes, but well, he thought it was gonna be outside.
Only down there, I would have figured it out.
It's HDM3 that's the
Yeah, that was last week, right? I see her down here.
Miss Manica. I need your grandson to help me figure this out.
You know how important that is?
We had this thing done 10 minutes ago. That's 15 on my screen.
No, I have one on my phone. I got it.
I think we show what's going on. I turn it on. I honestly don't know if we're gonna need this, but I like to have it available.
Sorry. No, he actually said he's gonna come down and do it himself. I don't know that we're gonna need it tonight, looking at the agenda, but it's, I like to pull the addresses of the properties up. Because people at home, they wanna be able to. What's that?
I'm still thinking about it.
So there's a simple button that I found.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You can't figure out which one it is.
No, I'll try it out. Just hit the viewing audience, see us just fine.
Oh, well, like,
Yep.
picture my.
So with that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight for regularly scheduled Highland Park in-person and virtual city council meeting scheduled for Monday, March 3rd at 7 p.m. If you will be kind enough to join me in a moment of silence. I will be eternally grateful. Madam Clerk, if you would call the roll.
Councilman Ashafi,
Present.
Councilwoman Martin,
Excuse.
Councilwoman Manica,
Here.
Council Pro Tim Robinson.
Present.
Here, we can move on to the approval of the agenda. City Council, what's your pleasure?
For the minutes.
Yeah, we have a motion. I'm
I'm
sorry,
trying to
for
see
this
where
is
we
for
were.
the approval of the proposed minutes for the virtual in-person regular meeting held on February 18th, 2025. City Council, what's your pleasure? I'm sorry.
Motion to approve the agenda.
For item 3. We have a motion on the floor. Is that made by you, Council Pro Tem? Mr. Al-Shafi, I'm sorry. I thought you were seconding Mr. Al-Shafi. So the motion was made by Mr. Al-Shafi. Do we have a second for the approval of the agenda? Madam Pro Tem has seconded the agenda. Any questions, concerns, or dissent?
No dissent. I have a question, or I would like to make, can I make, no, we have a motion on the floor, right?
We have a motion to approve
That's
the
okay.
agenda as is.
Go ahead. That's okay.
Okay. Madam Clerk, would you be kind enough to call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes for approval of the agenda.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tim Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. Moving on to item 4A. That is the approval of the proposed minutes for the virtual in-person regular meeting held on February 18th. City Council, what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Motion on the floor from Councilman Al-Shafi, seconded by Councilwoman Manica to approve. The minute, Councilwoman Manica made the second. If we don't have any questions, concerns, or dissent, I'll go ahead and call for the roll on item 4A.
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tim Robinson.
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes. Motion carries. Moving on, item 4B, approval of the proposed minutes for the virtual in-person workshop meeting held on February 18th. City Council, what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion on the
Second.
floor by Councilman Ashafi, seconded by Councilwoman Manica. Questions, concerns, or dissent? Madam Clerk, would you be kind enough to call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
House Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. This is the portion of our regular meeting where we set time aside for Mayor McDonald. I need to see if she is on the line.
I think it's just unavailable.
Oh, is she in the building? Okay. So assuming that Mrs. McDonald would have reached out to me, to let me know she was going to be here, we will move through that. She,
She just sent an email out, Council President.
I'm sorry, I haven't read it. I haven't read
She
it.
sent an email out saying she wasn't gonna be here.
Okay,
She said that she would be on Zoom.
okay.
Okay.
I don't see her here. And she has the ability to reach out to us at her leisure too. So we'll go ahead and move into citizens participation. Citizens may speak for no more than 2 minutes. I'm going to be very rigorous with my 2 minutes. Highland Park, 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So yep, so once I get this timer set, we'll allow anyone who has comments or questions related to the agenda only. That is the agenda only. If you'd be kind enough to adhere to that. The agenda items for tonight includes a section of the city administration for recreation, a section for the city clerk. We have community and economic development, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. There's a city council item on that item 8, and then a Department of Water. So those are the comments that the chair will entertain right now. How are you doing, sir? Once you state your name, I'll go ahead and start your time.
Thank you, Mr. President. And again, you're in my prayers. You and your family is in my prayers.
Thank you very much, sir.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Mark Ashley Price. I'm a citizen district advisory member, district member in City Council District 3. My question is number 8. I just want to know who's on the board of review, who's up for renewal this evening. That was my only question. Thank you.
Any additional citizens that want to come up and speak during this time? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Members of council, how you feel about us just sharing with Mr. Price the question that he asked? Anybody have a problem?
I do not.
Okay, so Mr. Price, that item is item 8.
Bill Edwards,
Mr. Edwards
Nathan Harvey,
and Mr. Harvey.
Lucy Fry, and Cassandra Walker.
Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Price, these are all renewals of their current appointments. All right, thank you so much. So let's move on to, now I appreciate allowing me to do that. So let's go ahead and move right off into our agenda for item 4. We're under city administration, the recreation department. This is a resolution to issue the contract for Spark Grant Project Prime Professional.
I move, go ahead.
Do we have?
Yes, Ms. Noranda is in the back.
Okay, so city council, what's your pleasure on item 5?
I move to approve the resolution to issue contract for Sparks Grant Project Prime Professional.
We have support.
Second with questions.
Mr. Shafi has offered support. The motion is open for discussion. Mr. Shafi, please go right ahead.
So if you can give us a quick overview, I greatly appreciate it.
This contract is for the prime professional, and this company will take and they'll do the architectural designs. They'll follow the process. They'll assist us with the bid process for contractors, and they'll also do any follow-up with any of the grant reporting that we'd have to do at the end of the project. We had 6 bids. We did our due diligence on the bids. We took it down to 3, and then we created a panel to go through the 3 that we thought were the best And then from there, we sent our top choice to the funder, and they also approved our top choice. So this is just for us to start proceeding with the architectural drawings and getting ready to go out to bid. So hopefully by the fall, we can start some of the projects.
Okay, okay. So Prime did win this,
The Smith Group,
right,
yes.
okay. So hopefully, by this summer, y'all be underway for work or,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
perfect, all right. Thank
I
you.
also brought the sheet that we did for the bidding. So if anybody
that,
wanted to
yep,
see that,
yep,
okay.
factored in here.
All right, cool.
Perfect.
Ms.
All
Sue,
right.
would you
Thank you,
mind,
sir.
that is a very valuable tool that you brought here.
Mhm.
If you don't mind making a copy and putting that in the mailboxes of city council, because that, I've never come across that process before, and I think it would be really informative for us to understand what that looks like.
I have 5 copies here, so,
Excellent. Thank you so much.
yes.
Thank you
Yep.
so much. Any
Thank you
further
so
questions
much,
or
man.
concerns before I call for the vote on this item? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, I will ask to call for the vote on item 5, the resolution to issue a contract for Sparks Grant Project. Prime.
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
No.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. Mr. Miranda, please come back and share with us the progress when you have an opportunity, okay? All right, thank you so much.
No, I,
Moving to item 6, under the city clerk, this is a parade permit application for Michigan Week Parade to be held May 17th, 2025 from the Parker Pride Foundation. Do we have the Parker Pride Foundation in the house tonight? Okay. City Council, what's your pleasure on item 6?
Make a motion.
Go ahead.
Parade permit application.
Motion to
Second.
approve from Madam Pro Tem, seconded from Councilwoman Manica. Do we have questions, concerns, or you want to go right ahead and vote for it? Mr. Al-Shafi, please go
I have
ahead.
questions, Council President. Mr. Spike? Yes, sir. Is it me or is the event getting bigger? 8 bands, 10 floats, 10 livestock, 50 cars and 400 people?
Both.
Nice.
You getting bigger and the parade is also getting bigger.
Okay. Okay. How long have you been doing this parade now, Mrs. Spike?
I think this is our 6th parade.
Okay.
I think this is be our 6th parade.
So 6 years. And the organization is fully 501c3 certified, right?
Yes, sir.
What day was that certification?
That's in my records. I don't know exactly the date that we certify our 501c3, but what do that have to do with putting on the parade?
No, I'm just asking questions.
Oh, we got that information
Yeah,
for you. If
okay.
you need that, we
please.
are 501c3, you know.
Okay. Okay.
For when you send your donations, we can give you your tax write-off.
Okay.
We got you,
Okay.
my man.
All right, Council President, I yield back.
I have a question for you, Mr. Spike.
Yes, sir.
Where's the turn? I walked this parade last year. Where does it end up at? Where does it
From
start?
Tuxedo to Pickett.
Tuxedo to Pickett? Okay.
Yeah, and then the bands, this year we're gonna try something different because we got with the police and the fire. We don't want no one to park on Pickett Street because
Okay.
when the buses to pick up these kids need to turn down there to get these kids, they don't want to pick them up on Hamilton because Hamilton on the other side of the barricades will be open. So they want to really pick them up on Pickett or Third. What's that, Third? On Third.
Okay.
So they really want that street to be vacant.
Okay. Okay. That's all I really need to know. Let's go ahead and get this permit, Ms. Manica.
Real quick, Mr. Spike. Because we have it goes across where the Greenway.
Mm-hmm.
And then also you're talking about parking. Have you thought about that? Because that's not.
Well,
parking
we was
anymore.
gonna do like we did last year, a car show. We canceled the car show because of because of what they're doing in the parking structures. So we're gonna try to block that off so no one can go up in that parking lot and try to, deter the traffic from being over there and key them to the playground of the field.
And so just out of consideration, just something to think about in case during the time when this happens, they're doing something that would prohibit you, that you have a second direction or where you're gonna go.
She's
Maybe you
thinking.
might have to go down a different street.
If Pickett Street is cut off,
Yeah, or them coming across Hamilton, going across Hamilton.
Well,
It's
if-
unlike Woodward that has,
if Case B and they cut that off, then they cutting off the traffic from Hamilton altogether,
right,
which we're gonna get with their department and see what they're gonna do and let them know what we're gonna do.
okay.
Because last year they had some things going on. We talked to them and they kind of moved all that stuff out the way so we can proceed with our parade. And then when it was over with, that following weekend, they put it all back.
Okay.
So we're gonna see if we can follow that up again. And then the mayor, she's adamant about helping us, derail a lot of this stuff. And if you guys can, please help us make this happen because
Mr. Lackey, can you do
As-
offer
as-
screen sharing for me, please? Excuse me for that interruption. I just need to do
as far as I know, we are
Hold
the
on,
only
Apple.
city that's doing the Michigan Week Parade now. So
Yes.
this is something really important that we keep going and get it bigger and bigger so Park of Pride can give it back to the city when the city is ready to take it and it's ready to go. And we can go to do something else.
Okay.
We got big
I
plans.
just wanted to make sure we just kind of keep a note about that.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And so,
Okay.
go ahead, Madam Pro Tem.
Where did you get your livestock from?
I don't have no livestock.
I think those are is that horses?
Well, the Meraki Temple Shriners, they bring their livestock. When they're gonna tell us all what they can bring. We're gonna tell them probably no with the livestock because that's a different type of insurance for us. We did it 1 year, we did it 2 years. Horse went nuts, we kicked them all out, and we didn't want to deal with it no more because the horses was trained, but for some reason they started acting kind of different. We didn't want them around the kids, so we kicked them out. So we probably won't have livestock. Really, livestock could probably be the guy with the farm with the chickens and stuff. He was in there 1 year.
So no 50 cars and no livestock.
The 50 cars probably be there. Oh yeah, because the car show, we probably just have them drive instead of park, stand, lift the hoods. We probably just put them in the parade and just let everybody Google out some nice cars.
I applaud you for asking for these things, even though that you might not, because if you get some beautiful little ponies, or little short docile ponies, it'd be great to have them. I also appreciate you asking for more than what you think you need, because it will, as opposed to coming to
We
us
open the
later and
door.
saying, yeah. And so I pulled this map up here, and as I walked the parade route last year, I was struck by something. So this is a residential area. This is the Gabriel Apartments, those townhomes. And I saw a lot of people coming down to meet us on Manchester. If you needed to have an alternative route, and see, this is me playing devil's advocate with Ms. Manica's comment about the Greenway. If they could go down Third, mind you, these are Highland Park streets. They could go down Third, past the old ice cream place. Let me put this into and end up at the field. This is, in my opinion, it is potentially safer because they don't have to deal with the traffic on Hamilton, and it's all our street.
Third is awfully small though. To corral bands and floats. If we put those floats in there, that's a
All right, okay.
hard
You got
turn.
I understand you completely. I just wanted to offer an alternative for two reasons. One, if we increase the amount of the time that the parade spent near actual people, you know what I'm saying, with the community that's there, that might encourage more people out. I saw those kids sweating their butts off, and there were not enough. A lot of the people that were watching came with the kids. And so I would like to see, I remember when I first moved here, and the noise brought me out of my house. And the smell of horses had me walking down the Woodward Avenue. I used to see people lining up on Oakland all the way down to the service drive. I remember I was jogging one day, unaware, and I ran into the Tuskegee Airmen, the Buffalo Soldiers, I'm sorry.
We had
that
them
were
in the
setting up
parade.
there. It was massive when we first moved here. And there were a lot of people that came out. People just came out of the house and sometime in they flip-flops in the road and just came and looked. So it's just a thought as a way to make it so that the people can actually see it. I don't know.
Let me say this. Now we have meetings with the mayor once a month to try to see what's her ideas, how we connect with the city, with the fire and the police department. You guys are, y'all can come to that meeting.
Even down
we need
second.
these ideas because see, this is the growth that we're trying to do. Now you're asking questions and showing maps. Next year, you might say, we in the parade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Steps is going where we need it to go.
Yeah.
And then the next year you say, we're going to take the parade back. And I say, y'all can have it. We'll give you everything. you
Yeah.
need.
Because even if we went down second, you go between Manchester Apartments and Gabriel Apartments. All of those people, all of those kids that really can't, they could imagine having all of those people plus the rest of us.
What if it went down second, and crossed over to the old high school, the new high school grounds, open that up to a carnival, and everybody have fun. But see, you guys got to relinquish that land and see what you're gonna do with it, because we got plans, and our plans can't move until we know what you guys gonna do. Big plans for that land. If you guys don't have any big plans for that land,
Well, that's community and economic development. So
there you go.
I'm gonna stay in my wheelhouse.
I mean, I got a presentation, the whole shot for
sure
that.
you do.
So
okay, so let's go ahead
being
and
in your parade.
let's
so-
go ahead and
we're looking forward to being in it again.
Thank you so much for that. Let's go ahead and
Thanks,
call
guys.
for the vote and get this permit out. We have a motion on the floor to approve the parade permit application from Council Pro Tem, second by Councilwoman Manica. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. Moving on to community development. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items for community development.
I have a motion.
Please go right ahead.
I move to remove these items from the agenda for further discussion with the CED director.
So we have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Manica to remove the items under community development. That is a resolution to sell the vacant residential lot at 144 Church, the resolution to sell the vacant residential lot at 98 Tennyson, the resolution to sell the vacant residential lot at 1643 Oakland, the resolution to sell the vacant residential lot at 234 Pasadena, and the resolution to sell the vacant commercial lot at 12535 Hamilton Avenue. Is there support?
Support.
We have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Manica to remove. You're asking to remove and do what with?
We'll bring them back later, but I said to have further discussion with the CED director.
Okay,
Is there a
and
reason,
support
Um,
Pro Tem.
you got a question, Council President?
Yes,
Is there a reason why we're removing?
because I would prefer to vote on it when we have all the information or the things that we asked for first from CED.
Okay, so what's
different
missing is what I'm
questions.
trying to understand.
The floor is open for discussion. We
Okay.
can do them as a group because you made that motion and it's been supported. We can deal with all of these as a group. So the floor is open. Go ahead and debate it.
I tell you, I would rather deal with each one of these individually. But I'm curious as to what's missing. The applications, they look full, they look in order. I don't see anything that's out of place. I don't understand why we're tabling these items.
Removing.
So
Okay.
one, I think that
I need a reason.
I asked several times to give us more information on how the process is. And because, for example, every lot is not the same, we do have some some ordinance and some charter items that are specific to us with the land. And according to some of the other meetings that we've had, seem like we may be violating them. On top of that, we have a company that's rewriting our ordinance at the current time in regards to what goes along with getting these lots. So I've talked to several residents that felt like they didn't know that the responsibility that came along with their lots and the different things that they are required to do.
Okay, so I get that, but it's not the first time that the administration hasn't given us something that we've asked for. It makes for a much more interesting scavenger hunt when I get down to the bottom of it. But some of these people have been waiting a while, like Mr. Jalen Smith here on Tennyson. He's finally come back to us after a couple of months.
So I've actually talked to them.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
I don't think that Healing Springs is willing to wait until they're eventually called back. And I'm pretty sure that the guy the young lady Miss Moore on Pasadena is looking for her moment as well. Now I don't know about the guy on Oakland. That's something new. But yeah, I can't see collectively removing all of them. Maybe if we take them one by one, I could get a better understanding and maybe I can agree to it. But to take all of them out, it makes no sense to me.
If I may,
Okay. Yeah.
I am in alignment with Mr. Shafi, as you all know, when it comes to the disposition of these lots to local citizens or at least property owners within the city of Highland Park, I think that time is of the essence. We have to make sure that the people who have been vested in the city, and let's call it what it is. Right now, the city is broke with their pockets turned inside out, and the people who are investing on a small scale have been doing a lot of the heavy lifting for many years. It's no secret that when we have situations like we have with item A and B, as well as item D and E, I am in favor of moving sooner versus later. We're already in March. And as a property developer, I can tell you, once these properties change hands, these people are going to have about a 60 to 90-day window before the grass is growing and the weeds are coming through. And they're probably going to do again this year what they've done last year if they've been taking care of the property. And what I would like to see is for people in the early stages of the transformation of the city, be able to take ownership, like Mr. Henderson, like Mr. Smith, like Ms. Moore, and like Healing Springs Missionary Baptist Church. I think we have done this, as Mr. Ashafi has said, a number of times, and it is, especially if you got in line and you've done everything the right way, it's very frustrating. And it can kind of, it could take the fire out of what you're working on if you keep doing everything the right way and getting frustrated. So I will be inclined to agree with him. I'm turning my hand up and letting everybody know I will be in favor of the ones that I mentioned receiving their property today. And I still agree with you, Ms. Manica, that there's things that need to be ironed out. But in the process of ironing them out, I think we should incentivize the people who have done all of the work by rewarding them with the property they've applied for. That's just my opinion.
So I am not against I'm not against going one by one,
Okay.
but here's the other option to that.
Yes, ma'am.
When you say, what do you mean when you say they've done everything in order or they've gotten everything in order? Are you just referring to the paperwork? What are we referring to?
So to be more specific, so getting in line in Highland Park takes a special kind of person. Let's just agree to that.
Agreed.
And so is there any,
So let me
outstanding?
let me finish. So just getting in line, that's a special kind of person, especially to come back again and again and again and again, stick the same key in the door. You told it opens, but it doesn't. So then you get your paperwork in order, and the process of scrutiny is much better than it was in the days before us. The scrutiny process is better. The presentation might not be all spit and polish. Every I might not be dotted, every T might not be crossed, but we are light years ahead of where we were when we took over in January of 2022 or whatever year that was. And we also have people who have been in line and they've gotten a new application and they've come back again. They paid $125 again. And they've gone out and they've taken photographs and cut the grass and kept their water bills paid again. They've done all of those things. And so I think if particularly with these people who are returning to us, we should, I will be willing to go one at a time on them. I just think it's fair.
Again, I'm gonna let Ms. Robinson go. I'm sorry, but it is not. Go ahead, Ms. Robinson. I'm sorry.
The majority of these applications that's in this type today, I just want everybody to know and stay for the record that they were filed 5 days ago.
Okay.
And we have a lot of people that have applications in already.
Are these refiles? Some of these people, some of these faces look familiar.
Well, the Tennyson is
Tennyson is a repeat.
But okay. I actually had a conversation with them and they were okay with it because it was not a no. I would prefer it not be on here so that I'm gonna be honest, so that it's not a no just by accident, even if it happened by accident, that it ended up being a no. Because once it's a no, because once it's a no, then it's gone. And so I just put them all together and say, hey, we can bring them back next meeting. I don't really care, but I wanted a discussion because just like CED and every other department want things done or they want their respect, City Council wants their respect too. I've asked several times for these same several different things. I think Council Robertson, Pro Tem Robertson also said this before about what happened to all the people prior to these people? Because those same people are also saying, hey, how did we get pushed behind? Or I asked for this, and these I don't think anybody else has asked for, but the same scenario, we're not following complete protocol, or we ask for update.
I agree with you, but I'll say this. let's say there was another group of applicants who came, and at the time, things were not in alignment. We got a new CED director. There's been a lot of changes with some of the things that have happened within the city. And the people before them were frustrated and they were denied because of it wasn't done in a level of completeness that you might have liked. But does that extend to these people that are on this list tonight? Is it possible for us to go through tonight and find those that we feel are acceptable and move them on, and then deal with the remainders to allow us to dig down to get the things that we want? It is, I guess my point is that,
You're asking, I can rescind my motion.
okay, and then we can go one at a
do 'em
time.
by one.
Now, we also have the option to, when we come to something that, you get a rock in your shoe, you stop and you table it. You sit down, you get the rock out of your shoe, shake it out. But if we look, I skimmed over this, particularly the community and economic development, those applications earlier today, and I didn't see anything glaring. It's an accomplishment. No back taxes, no water bills. Property has been maintained and set up in such a way they haven't moved on to the property. That's been a big sticking point for members of council. People occupying it. They're waiting. So they're waiting on the edge of this property. They're doing everything they're supposed to do. And I can promise you, if the grass starts growing, they're going to cut it.
I think some of these are not occupied, but I
vacant lot.
rescind my motion.
Okay. Okay. So Madam Pro Tem, would you also like to rescind your support?
I have a choice.
Okay, so the motion has been rescinded. So ladies and gentlemen, moving on to item 7 of the community development, we have item A, a resolution to sell the vacant residential lot at 144 Church to the adjacent property owner at 148 Church. That is Mr. Church, that's Mr. Nathaniel Henderson. Mr. Henderson, are you present?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Henderson, okay, that's you on the screen. Okay, sir. Okay, so do
Yes,
we have
sir.
a motion
Yes.
on item 7A?
Motion to approve with question.
We have a motion on the floor from Councilor Shafi to approve with questions. Do we have support? Chair will offer support so that the item can come on the floor for discussion. Mr. Shafi, the floor is yours.
Okay, Mr. Henderson, am I to understand correctly that you are currently working on this house and you are just about done fixing it? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hold on a second, Ms. Henderson, we ain't got no volume.
I'm scared to touch this thing on thing. Speaker, usually speak. Okay, Mr. Henderson,
Yes, sir.
you take yourself off mute.
I am off mute.
Yeah, you probably need to unmute again.
All
He's
right.
not on mute. I can hear him, Council President.
All right, sir.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Can you say hello?
Yeah, he's talking.
Can you hear me?
Nothing's coming out.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you in my computer. Let me hold on and turn this up.
Nothing.
Try again, Mr. Henderson.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you on my computer. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, I've been working on the property and I'm currently close to having it completed. And I've been maintaining the lot for the last several years.
Okay, hold on a second, Mr. Henderson. We're getting a little bit of feedback.
Okay.
He may have 2 things on, that's making his
Oh, what type of audio?
echo.
What type of audio do you have on?
I'm sorry. I'm straight talking
See, I
into the
can't hear
computer.
So what's happening when I take this mute off is that it's coming through my actual computer screen. Normally it's muted. And he's able to come through the television.
Okay, so the council president, while we're waiting on that, I see that he is listed as a non-resident, but he is putting a great amount of work into the house. I was unable to reach his neighbor next door to see if they had an opportunity for right of refusal because the lot is actually their first right, but
I'm gonna unmute you, Mr. Henderson.
Okay.
Did you ask your neighbor about the property? Have you had any discussion?
The people next door are the renters. So actually the property that I bought, I purchased from the actual owner, and he actually had no interest in it because that's why he was getting up these properties.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you for a second. So if I heard you correctly, you can nod for us, because I don't want to kill these folks' ears. The people that are living next door are renters, yes? Okay, and you purchased your property from the owner of the property that the renters are living in currently? Okay, I'm gonna unmute you again. I don't want to hurt y'all ears, but this is what we got. We having technical difficulties tonight. Is there anything further that you wanted to add?
No, I've been taking care of the property since I bought the other property and been maintaining it and would like to keep maintaining it and put some work into it. But it's been like over a year and a half, and I've been trying this process, and I'm getting nowhere.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you again. So, the CD director handed me this document, and it shows that Mr. Henderson's original application for 144 Church went in November 20th of 2023, over a year ago. Any additional further information that you would need about this, Mr. Shafi?
No, I'm good at this point.
I have a question.
Yes, Ms. Manica.
I just want to make sure I understand. He bought the property from the person who owns the house on the other side?
I believe that's correct. Okay.
I'm confused. What property did he buy? I guess I'm trying to find out.
Are you saying the current property that you're working on, you brought this vacant property from the owner of the house where the renters live? Is that correct? Oh, don't freeze. Come on.
It froze.
Bruh. We are having a wonderful time for technical difficulties. Okay, I'm gonna unmute you.
Correct. Yes.
That is correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I heard that, yes.
I heard it.
Yes.
So, did you get your answer, Ms. Manica?
I did.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, we have this motion on the floor to approve the sale of this house to Mr. Henderson. Mr. Henderson applied, as I said, over a
It's a
year
lot,
ago.
Council President.
2023.
It's a lot.
Yep. And
Yeah.
so he is working on the property. He's trying to purchase the lot. Do we have any additional questions or concerns before I go ahead and call for the vote? Okay, Madam Clerk, would you please call for the vote?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
No.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Henderson. You received a lot today. I would ask that you come back and see us. We need success stories. We need people who have purchased property from the city to show up and say, I bought this piece of property from the city of Highland Park. I feel like they did the right thing by me, and so let me do the right thing by them as well. The more people come and show us what they've done, you help to set a standard for us to be able to make sure that it's a level playing field that benefits you. We don't want anybody to have a easier or rougher go than what you have. So coming back and talking to us will be something we would greatly appreciate. Thank you, sir. You got a lot today. Have a wonderful day. Okay, moving on to item 7B, that's the resolution to sell the vacant residential lot at 98 Tennyson Street to the adjacent property owner at 100 Tennyson, Mr. Jalen Smith and Shakari Dancy. All right, it's Mr. Smith and Ms. Dancy.
They're not here.
They're not?
They were here, but they left.
Okay, they had to go. Okay.
Council President, I am willing, Council President,
Yes, sir.
if possible, I am willing to table this one before Miss Manna, because they were here and she talked to them and they left. So, you know,
Okay, I know
I'm
the
willing
couple
to
that you're
table
talking
this
about.
matter.
I mean, did you
So-
have a
No, I'll wait until it comes back. I will make a motion to table.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll support that motion, but I have a question.
I
Mhm.
support it.
Okay. I'm sorry,
I support it too. Go ahead, ask your question.
so I can't ask a question on the table.
Ask the question.
So once it's called for tabling, I can't ask any question.
I can't hear you.
I withdraw my support because I want to talk about it.
Oh,
We
okay,
can change the motion. I just want to make sure we talk about it.
Okay.
okay.
So you made a motion to approve, with,
No,
To table?
I made a motion to table.
okay.
Yeah.
By-
And the reason I made that motion, they were here.
Yes, I know a
And Miss
couple.
Manica, she talked to them and then they left.
Right.
So they kind of like, we don't get opportunity to speak to them because they're going already.
Gotcha. Okay, let's
So
take
I
it.
didn't want to
Yep.
have them die on the table.
Yep.
If we
Right.
just table it to the next meeting, that'd be great.
So,
That'd be
Madam
great.
Clerk, I will keep my support for Mr. Al-Shafi's motion to table it. And no discussion because it's tabled. Okay, fine then. Let's call for the vote to table item 7B.
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes, to table.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
Yes, to table item 7B to be brought back at the next regular scheduled
Okay.
city council meeting. Moving on to item 7C, the resolution to sell the vacant residential lot at 16143 Oakland Avenue to the adjacent property owner at 16114. I'm sorry, at 16141 Oakland Avenue to Peripheral Industries LLC, a Michigan limited liability company. City Council, what's your pleasure on item 7C? Nope.
Council President, I went by this.
Call you, sir. Hold just a second.
I went by this property. And it's the old abandoned mechanic shop on Oakland.
Mhm.
And the lots are across the street, and it's at least about 4 of them. It covers the entire block across the street of what he's looking for. This is not a sale of lots. This is actually a development. I would ask that CED relook at this and bring back to this council a development plan for something so extensive.
I would like to entertain a motion for item C based on what you said, sir. My ears are open. I'm ready.
Okay, I would like to have this item. I would like to make a motion to have this item referred back to the CED director for development, because it's clearly that's what it is.
We have a motion on the floor from Councilman Al-Shafi to return this item to CED for further investigation. Do we have support?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Manica. And that motion is again to return this item to CED until such time as I'm sorry, it was Ms. Manica. I wrote Manica and said Ms. Robinson. I'm trying to keep it together here. I got a couple screws loose. So we have a motion on the floor from Councilman and
Yeah, we didn't
supported by
table you.
Councilwoman
We just
Manica.
gonna send you back to the CED director to have it fixed.
So questions, concerns, dissent? Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll on item 7C?
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes, to send back to CED.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
Yes, to return to CED. So, sir, I would follow up with the Director of Community Economic Development.
Can you make one statement? And the one statement that the lot that we're talking about is not the lot that.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you right there. What I would encourage you to do before you go, and I see the frustration in your face, and so what I would encourage you to do is that we all have business cards. Before you leave, I would ask that you get the business cards of the city council persons that had questions. I would also definitely encourage you to follow up with the CED director. Hey, ASAP.
I'm confused, and this is the part where I'm confused.
I understand your confusion. I will offer you a little bit of clarity on the part of the members of city council. Our job is to say yes or no and to take full accountability for the things that we say yes or no to. My colleagues here are very firm in their belief that when it comes to the disposition of property, they want to be on the right side of history. In the past, we can't necessarily say that. And so it is incumbent upon the body of people who are seated here right now to follow their conscience and their due diligence. I can assure you, over our time that we've been here, we've disagreed about a lot of things. The one thing that we have unanimously agreed on is that we want to make sure that our property sales go in good spirit and good faith. We don't want any of them tainted. And so if that means waiting 2 weeks to the next meeting, under the best case scenario, I would encourage you to do that, because I have seen people with good intentions have their dreams thwarted because they were in a hurry. Not because they did anything wrong, because they just wanted it now.
No, I get it. So how do we correct the specific lot that we're buying? Because that is not the lot.
So what I would do is, you have, my colleagues here have business cards. I would get their card. and I'll have a conversation with them.
Can you give me your name and phone number, sir?
My name is Sharif Dyer. It's SHARRIFF-DYER. My telephone number is 248-895-9348. The lot,
So don't do that. What I want to do tomorrow.
9348.
And so now, this, I want to make it clear as a guest here, this is our meeting. Everybody that's on the other side of that bar, don't walk away yet, because I understand real estate development. And for all I know, you have a impending deadline or a domino that needs to fall that you were expecting this to occur today so that you could do the next thing. That's what I think I see in your face.
No.
He's saying that's not the right property.
That is not. The building that I own 16191 Oakland. I own 16141 Oakland. I own 254 Chandler. Between those two lots is a small lot. So my building sits on Oakland. It sits on the west side of Oakland. So if you're looking directly across from my lot, he is specifically referring to a gigantic piece of land. No,
That's what he put into the application.
No.
Is that one of your properties?
That's my property.
Okay.
Just hold on, just be patient with me for a second. The lot that I am.
We're actually breaking protocol.
Okay.
No,
Thank you.
before you leave, we're breaking protocol, but you know, this is heavy. Okay.
Yeah.
He can talk.
Okay. So this is what I would like for you to do. You're here. We're moving through this agenda pretty quickly, very shortly, probably within the next 15, 20 minutes. We have participation. I'll give you an opportunity for you to address us. Nothing frustrates me more than seeing people who want to do something in the city have an additional hurdle to go over. There's not a long line of people really wanting to come to Highland Park and really get down in it right now. So everybody that shows up at our door with goodwill, it pains me to see their dreams thwarted. And so I feel your pain. I can see it in your face. I can see it in your face. Mr. Clyburn, if I need to call you so I can get a better understanding of what I will just
called up, I can tell you what's going on.
Okay. So, Mr. There's nothing for us to, we don't have a motion on the floor.
I understand.
We don't have a motion.
It's already been sent back to CED.
Yeah. So moving on to item 7D, the resolution to sell the vacant residential lot at 234 Pasadena Street to the adjacent property owner at 234 Pasadena Street, Ronisha Moore. City Council, what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve with questions.
I have a motion to approve with questions. Support. Chair will offer support. Mr. Shafi, the floor is yours.
Okay, so on this one here, to my understanding, there are 3 lots at play here. Is that correct?
This is the Pasadena. We're on Pasadena.
Okay, well, I talked to the owner on Sunday, and she was telling me that she's looking to get all 3 lots. The 2 that's to the left of her and the 1 that's to the right of her. Which one are we doing first?
234.
Is that to the left or to the right of her?
East or west?
Yeah, she is 230. That's west.
Okay. Okay, so the note she put in here, she's talking about making a custom driveway to park her fleet of vehicles. And to also to bring in 2 intermobile shipping containers for family seasonal personal use with flashing and trees, lots, fence, absolutely private.
Right. So
the problem with that is we don't have a shipping container ordinance.
so that's why it's just the 1 lot.
Okay.
That's for if she was to get all 3 lots.
Okay.
So this is just for the 1 lot.
Okay. I saw a lot of cars. Is she here today?
I know.
How you doing? Can you tell us which kind of cars you will be parking on this particular lot, man?
Just like the vehicles that I drive every day to take my kids to school,
Okay. So like
like a regular sedan,
okay,
maybe a minivan.
okay. I saw an RV out there too. Is that yours?
No,
Okay. Is that so just a regular minivan and sedan?
yes, because right now we don't have a driveway at all
Okay, so why did you say fleet of cars then?
because,
That's just nomenclature. You just threw that out there.
yeah, it's just,
You understand my concern, okay?
mhm,
So when you drive through Highland Park, people love to do as they see fit. And some of the bad ideas that people have is parking cars on their lawn and leaving them there, and it looks like a junkyard by the end of the year.
oh, right, you
You know what
know,
I'm saying? With multiple cars, nobody's doing anything about it. It's an eyesore in the city. People walk out their door. I get calls every day about people in their cars parked on the lawn or parked on the sidewalk, cars abandoned in the back of the house, cars abandoned in the alley. You know, I just want to make sure that this is for cars that you want to be personally driving, 2 or 3 cars you parking so that you have a space to park.
yes. Because I actually wanna, later down, I wanna invest into like, cause what I do now is like, it's called Amazon Flex.
Mhm.
And you gotta have like a big truck to do like the big boxes and stuff, so when, when funds get right, I plan to purchase a bigger vehicle.
So your note almost killed you tonight. I just want you to know that.
Okay,
All right, you do me a favor, no commercial vehicles,
okay,
no big trucks,
okay,
just your personal cars.
okay,
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 and as always, the city will be paying attention.
okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Good.
Hold
So
on,
what-
hold on. She got a question.
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Does anyone live in the house at 230?
No, we're actually just remodeling everything. I just put a roof. I got 3 kids, so I'm just trying to get it together for us. So I'm trying my best.
So did you think about just asking for a permit to put a driveway in?
I just don't know how to go about it, so I just wrote like a letter.
Okay, I understand. So that is my beginning issue here. No one talked to, I'm gonna say this, maybe someone did talk to her, maybe she didn't give it clear. But evidently, she doesn't have all that information. She could have just asked for, can I have a permit to put a driveway in? She could have not put fleet. Not only that, in this packet, it is an ordinance, and I keep looking, maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. It's an ordinance, and it says an ordinance to amend the Highland Park Administration Code, Chapter 208, by amending Section A, deleting fencing requirements, and amending Section B by changing will to may. Why is that in there?
That happened in 2018.
I'm
So that was
saying,
the ordinance that was passed in 2018.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. That's old. I mean, I don't want to call it old news, but I would say that it did occur.
That already happened.
Yeah,
So
So-
I'm referencing, hold on a second. I'm referencing, so in the resolution, it talks about the ordinance that I'm selling the property under, right? And I gave a copy of the ordinance highlighted where it came from. That's the 2018 ordinance that already been passed that we're already operating off of.
Yeah.
So that happened in 2018
and you put it in here for.
for your, so you can see it. Because the
Is it
resolution
in
calls
the-
for it.
Maybe I didn't see it in the
And
other.
it's in all of them.
It's
Yes,
in
and
all
I
of
would
them, okay.
encourage, so thank you for that. Thank you for pointing that out, Mr. Clyburn. Those changes, I remember some of these changes, not all of them, because I've been on planning commission since 13, ZBA since 17. These things had not previously, prior to this, been included, although they should have. So that's a step up. This thing that Mr. Clyburn did and pointing it out to us, is those reference points. It's like anytime you cite your source, that's in there. It's no change, and we are operating under those conditions as we speak.
And I would like to make one more point.
Please.
And they also had to sign an agreement that they understood those rules under that ordinance. So everything that's in the resolution is the same thing that's in the ordinance, is the same thing in the purchase agreement for the property sale, and
Correct.
all
So
of the packages.
that redundancy is in there. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Additional questions on this, or can we call for the vote for
No,
item
I
7D?
wasn't quite done.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Go right ahead. That's why I wanted to make sure we had
And
all the
so
questions answered, or
Mr. Ashafi pointed it out that she put in their fleet.
I think, can I interrupt you just?
Well, maybe it was just.
I was
probably-
prior
I
to the
think, yeah,
meeting.
I think that,
We
so this
did
is,
sit down
this,
and we met. That's why it wasn't all 3 lots.
so
So
I
the
think-
letter
So-
was in there
so-
before.
So
a
let's
second.
stop.
Hold a
Stop.
second.
Point of order,
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
because I was talking.
Yes,
Two,
ma'am.
he put it, fleet was put in there.
Mhm.
If it was looked back at, then it should have been taken out, because we're approving something that still says fleet. It
Correct.
does not take it out. So if she still put a fleet, can we actually go back and say, you can't put a fleet there? But it's in her contract. I'm not
It's not in
done.
our contract.
Or it's
It's
in
not in
here.
our, it's not on her
So
application.
if I
either.
may,
Because it's not on her application, but that's what she asked for. Where did you see that?
Ms.
Maybe
Manica?
I'm not.
I'm gonna interject here. The chair is gonna interject. I'm trying to grab the mic for a second. I think this is an example where, so we are splitting hairs, because our applicant has told us, she made a full disclosure, and when you asked her about the driveway, she said, I really don't know. This is my first rodeo. I don't have a lot of experience. So when I saw that fleet of cars and she explained herself, that seemed more like just her choice of words at the time. I don't
Exactly.
necessarily see you like Mr. Penske with a fleet of trucks. Am I right? Am I not reaching? So when you said fleet of cars, you're referring to the cars you own.
Exactly.
I got 4 cars on my property right now. So I'm just making this is more so you and I going back and forth. I don't disagree with you. I'm not trying to deter you from your point. I'm saying this is one of those instances where we can, this is where we can defer and understand that.
And I'm trying to. It's
Go
not
right
that
ahead.
it's a no, but
Would you like to strike that part through?
no, what I like, that'd be fine too. Yep, strike that part too.
It doesn't-
Because again, it's in there.
Yes, ma'am.
And I hear this all the time. We're gonna be sued for this and sued for that, because this was in there, you didn't dot your I and cross your T. Well, if that's the case, then we need to make sure we're dotting our I and crossing our T, and the young lady get that information. Why have her stand here and she doesn't have that information? Now, in all honesty, CED knows that she wants all the lots. So this is not gonna be the first time, I'm sorry, the last time that we see her. So then we're gonna be voting on her getting 2 more lots. Or 1 more lot, and then another 1 more lot. So you disregarding, and this is not to you at this point, young lady, you're disregarding the fact that I said, council said, what are we doing in regards to developing streets and having people live on streets? Is also, to me, no one else had to feel like that is being disregarded, that when you sell property, how we're supposed to sell it. Okay, this becomes a development. It also becomes a business. So you can spin it however you want and do it in however many pieces you want. It's still the same thing, because you coming back later asking for this. You already know what the plan is, but we're gonna put it in pieces. So I don't mind the young lady having a lot for her family and for herself, but why not also express to her that, hey, even if she parks her stuff there, she can't park it on the grass. So now we still have a ticket.
Okay.
Or we put in, you still have to apply for a driveway to put cement in, so that you won't get a ticket for parking on your grass. Does that make sense what I'm saying? You want to park where you got the lot at, right?
And we want to park for my kids, so.
Right,
Because
but
it's
still the
like
same
the
thing.
little dogs and stuff be running around.
Still
So
the
that's
same
why I
thing.
wanted to fence it off.
Okay, so let me just jump in here again. Nomenclature is important. You go, then you need legal terms, shall, will, may, can, should, all those change the complete way that the conversation goes if you interchange them at any particular point. The term fleet is a number of vehicle or aircraft operating together under the same ownership. That's what that means. So technically I have a fleet of cars at my house right now.
Right.
So,
if I
because it
use
says right here,
multiple, it's still gonna be the
paving,
same thing,
so
right?
at the bottom, it says, my foresight on adding both the side lots promote by avoiding bad company. It is important for developing good moral habits and making wise decisions by constructing a new garage. Dusting out the backyard for private space, paving a custom driveway to fleet all my vehicles. That's what it says. It doesn't say to have a fleet of vehicles. She used the term fleet as in to gather her vehicles together. So the nomenclature here, I don't know, Mr. Bodrick, if you go to court, does that mean, the way that it reads here?
The way that it reads is fleet is being used as a descriptive term for her number of vehicles.
Okay, so with that being said, I think, thank you for writing this in your own words. Okay, thank you for writing this in your own words. And I say that because we very rarely do any of us write legal documents. None of us do we write legal documents. We don't. So for this young lady to write this in her own script, in her own hand, in her own words, based on her description, I get what you're saying.
I just think right now I know you're trying to plead your case.
No, I'm
We
saying,
can call for the vote because you now.
I don't disagree with you at
President
all,
Thomas,
Ms.
you're
Manica.
telling me that she wrote it. I don't know if she wrote it. Somebody could have helped her. I have no care
Miss-
for that. I do not.
Did you write
I have
this?
no.
I did
care.
write that. And like I said, this is my first time trying by myself. So when you try, you write what they asked you to write, right? So I'm telling you what I need. So this is my request. So I was requesting for a driveway so I can get out the car safely because I don't only have this kid. I have that one back there and I have one at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
So
When
I just
read
want my
this,
kids to be safe.
I read this now. It's not like I looked at it. I'm being very, I'm giving you full disclosure.
Exactly.
I read it now. It wasn't until my colleagues brought it up that I thought, wait a minute, let me go ahead and sit down and read this when she says, does it say to have a fleet? It says to fleet, which means
Exactly.
to
If I
collect
would
all
have
your
used
cars in
multiple,
one
what will
place.
be the difference between multiple and fleet?
Yes, ma'am. So Ms. Manica, your feelings about
My feeling's not gonna change.
You-
It has nothing to do with the young lady though. So
Okay.
we can call for the vote because now we're trying to interpret what she means by fleet. What you interpreting fleet is, what Mr. Shafi interpreting fleet is. I'm not trying to do that.
I think
I'm just trying to point out how we need to be more responsible to the resident or to the person on what they can and cannot do. She simply said, I really want a driveway to just be able to, put my kids out. That's what she just said.
And
So it should have been.
and a playground,
Yeah,
like something for them to be entertained, to be safe. It's no street lights already on the street.
Baby,
I
young
got one of
lady.
them in my
And
backyard
it's not
right now.
personal to you. I'm just
saying,
okay.
just stop talking about it.
Okay.
Okay, because it's not about you. Stop talking about it.
So
It called for the vote.
yes, ma'am. So on item 7D, the resolution to sell the vacant residential lot at 234 Pasadena Street to the adjacent property owner at 230 Pasadena, Ms. Rashina Moore. The motion was made by Councilman Ashafi. It was supported by the chairman. If you would go ahead and call for the roll, ma'am.
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
No.
Council President Thomas.
Yes, motion carries. Before we have one more item here too,
No commercial vehicles, please.
Okay.
so the motion carries. No, let me stop. Let's just go ahead. Item 7E, resolution to sell the vacant commercial lot at 12535 Hamilton Avenue to the commercial property owner at 12647 Hamilton Avenue, Healing Springs Missionary Baptist Church, a Michigan nonprofit corporation. City Council, what is your pleasure?
Council President,
Yes.
this is another one that I would like to have sent back to the CED director. And the reason I say that is, this is of no doubt development. This is a huge commercial property. There are 2 lots on Hamilton. I don't know who assessed them at 4,000 and 8,000 when they are next to each other on the same side of the street. I don't know why there's 2 different prices, but when you have a commercial property on a main thoroughfare like Hamilton, that requires a development plan. I need this to go back, so I'm gonna make a motion to have this one here go back to the CED director, and they submit to this council a proposal for development. and an option to purchase. This is a development.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman
Second.
Ashafi to return to CED, second by Councilwoman Manica. If there are no questions, concerns, or dissent, we'll go ahead and call for a vote. Madam Clerk, would you
Councilman
please take?
Ashafi?
Okay, great.
Yes to return.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tim Robinson?
Yeah.
Council President Thomas?
Yes, motion carries. Members of council, I would ask for a 2-minute recess so that I can go to the men's room.
So moved.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're going to recess for 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, hey. You got it. I know.
Chair will entertain a motion to reconvene.
I move. Second.
We're reconvening at 8:06 PM. Now back to session. Now we're on to item 8 under City Council. That is the Board of Review. We are here to reappoint Board of Review members for a 2-year term of renewal.
Are they being sworn in today as well, Council President?
I don't know, are we prepared to do that today, Madam Clerk?
Once they're approved and can-
Once they're approved, then they can come and be sworn into you at any time after that, correct?
Okay.
Or if you just swear them in tonight, it will be after the meeting. Okay, so they will be sworn in after the meeting. Once the clerk, she has to prepare the document for them.
So is this all of it? That's this email? Okay. This is it.
I must be missing.
We have a resolution or something.
What? Okay, so what we're doing is we're approving the 2-year term renewal. This is from Mr. Shaw. Mr. Shaw, if you would. Okay, good morning. I sent this text to the rest of the council. I'm asking it to be put on our agenda for Monday. Do we have anything that, we don't have none but this?
That's all that was received, yes.
Do you?
Council President, can we ask legal, are we allowed to do this without?
You can do it as long as there's a motion made and individuals are specifically named
Okay.
for when their term would begin and when their term would end.
Mr. Shaw, these renewals, can you tell us from the beginning of that term?
They're gonna begin tomorrow and they run for 2 years.
From 3/4/2025 for a term of 2 years.
Correct.
When did they expire?
They expired today.
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, after consulting the clerk and with an attorney, we could entertain a motion to renew the terms of these members of the Board of Review. That would be Miss Lucy Fry. Who was the other person, ma'am?
Jamil Edwards.
Jamil
Walker.
Edwards.
You did say Lucy Fry, right?
Yes, and Cassandra.
Nathaniel. Nathan Hart.
Okay.
Walker.
So that means they wouldn't come back to us until 2028, or is that 27?
27.
2027.
Okay, so
I do have a
members of council, as it relates to item 8 under City Council Board of Reviews, we have the opportunity to make, I'm not in a position to make the motion. You would have to, one of you would have to make the motion to go ahead and approve the 2-year term renewal and cite the individuals that would be.
Council President, I make a motion to renew the 2-year terms for Lucy Fry, Cassandra Walker, Jamil Edwards, and Nathan Harvey to the Board of Review.
You have a motion on the floor from Councilman, we have a motion on the floor from Councilman Ashafi, seconded by Council Pro Tim Robinson to renew the board terms for Miss Lucy Fry, for Mr. Jamil Edwards, Ms. Cassandra Walker, and Mr. Nathan Harvey for a term of 2 years. Questions, concern, or dissent?
Just a question.
Yes, ma'am.
All of them have been talked to and they all want to return?
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
They all want to return.
Okay, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
Yes, motion carries. Moving on to item.
Thank you.
9, under the Department of Water, resolution to request public advertisement for the purpose of receiving construction bids for 2 stormwater construction projects under the 2023 State High Water Infrastructure, SHWI grant. City Council, what's your pleasure?
I move
Motion to approve.
So y'all split hairs. Who wants?
Support.
Okay, so the motion was made by Councilwoman Manica. Support was offered by Councilman Ashafi. Questions, concerns, or dissent? So we can just, yes, ma'am, go right ahead.
Can I speak to Mr. Damon Garrett?
Mr. Garrett, would you please come and address City Council? For members of the audience, this is a resolution to request advertisement for the purpose of receiving bids.
Stormwater construction projects. 2023 State High Water Infrastructure.
Good evening.
When you speak of the water main and the lead service line replacement, is this a continuance?
This the next one. We're talking about the stormwater infrastructure grant, which is basically where the rec center is. So it's just that parking lot that's blown out right there at the rec center. That's phase 2, and phase 1 is a little path that goes back to the fitness area that's behind the rec center. So that's this one right here. I can answer that on the next one.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Ashafi?
So this was an interesting read. Most of this work is being done around 10 Pickens. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Where are you planting the trees? It says trees will be planted and maintained. And the question is, do we have the budget for that?
Yes, it was all of that is included in the grant.
Okay. Okay. So have we decided as to where we're going to plant the trees?
I don't know if the final planting plan is complete. Drew, is that done? No, it's not. So we have So we have the ability to place those trees in that area where we
Okay.
need to.
Okay, how critical is this stormwater drains?
It's well, it's very critical. If you look at that area over by the rec center, that parking lot is in really, really bad shape.
Absolutely.
You know that the runoff is,
Okay, so those drains are what's in the parking lot?
yes, there's, yeah.
Okay, so that's what's being redone. So we're basically, according to this, we're redoing the parking lot.
Yep, like the half of the parking lot.
Okay, yeah,
And then creating a path
okay.
back to the fitness pad that we did a few years ago.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll yield back, Council President.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor for the approval made by Councilman Manica, supported by Councilman Ashafi. With no further questions, I ask for a vote on item 9A.
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
Yes. Moving on to item 9B, the resolution to request public advertisement for the purpose of receiving construction bids for fiscal year 2024 American Rescue Plan State Revolving Fund Water Main and Lead Service Line Replacement Project. City Council, what's your pleasure?
I move to approve.
Support with questions.
Have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Manica. Support offered by Councilman Ashafi with questions. Sir, the floor is yours.
Okay, this is the second time I've seen this lead line thing, Mr. Gary. What was our success rate the last time we did this?
Well, right now we have a project that's under construction, about 108 lead service lines being replaced.
Okay. On what side of town is that?
In District 3 area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
That's where y'all working right now?
Yeah, that's where they're working right now.
Okay. Okay. So the lead lines is from the city shut off into the house, correct?
Yes, yes, we have to do a complete, so we used to be able to do partials, was just up to the curb stop, but these have to be from the main all the way to the house.
Gotcha. Okay. 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 When will you be starting this this next round, and what side of town will it be on?
Okay, so the next round, so we're looking to get this out to bid. And so you're talking about June construction. So it's 8 miles of water main, and it's like south of Davison or east of Woodward area and west of Woodward.
Okay.
And it's 1,053 lead service lines.
Okay.
So we have 100 under construction right now. And so that would mean that we'd have basically almost 1,200 lead service lines under construction, along with the master meters that. So you know, you're talking about a lot of construction in this summer, in this.
What is the projected time that maybe all of this? Okay, all right. It's a $19 million grant?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. All right, Council President, I yield back.
I do have to.
Questions or yes?
I do have to answer.
Yes, I'm sorry, Madam Pro Tem.
Okay.
Forgive me.
Hit it. Go ahead. What did you want?
No, do you have okay, like you got a little map attached to this?
Yeah, so it's the nothing in blue. So it's the color. So you see the color, that's where the green, the yellow, the brown, and the pink.
So the rest of the city is done, or you just doing quadrants? How you doing?
No, it's not. No, the rest of the city is.
What has been done? Anything?
Well, oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of water main. We started up in A back in 18. So back up in here.
Okay.
We've been working over, we've done some work over here, but we've only done about 16 miles.
Okay.
So this is going to be 8, and that'll we're getting close to being about 50% done.
Okay.
So I mean, what I can do is I can have our guys get you a map of I know we have a map of what's been complete, and then the future phases out to 2031 to, you know, just so you can have everything. Yeah. We have that map. It's a lot. We have that map. So we can bring that map to council.
Yeah.
Any additional questions to kind of call for the vote? Madam Clerk, would you call for the roll on item 9B?
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tim Robinson?
Yes.
Council President Thomas?
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, I received a letter in the mail. We're gonna start citizens participation. I had asked for citizens to write us, use the Zoom feature, come and speak in public. And I received this letter from a citizen in my mailbox. And so I'm gonna start citizens participation with this citizen. This is Miss Janice, this is Jenny Gatling at 76 Pasadena, City of Highland Park. She sent it to us here at the City Council building. This is Highland Park.
Say her name was?
Her name is Jenny Gatling. This is the envelope. I don't know if she gave one of these to all of us.
No.
No.
Okay, it says, Dear Council, the City of Highland Park needs to start tearing down houses on Grand and Pasadena. It looks like a war zone. Also by Wendy's. The garage there is on Davidson, 25 years next to a good business. Tear it down. That was number one. Number two, find money for cutting trees in the city. Number three, remove debris around the fire station. It was behind the medical arts building. I'm struggling to read her handwriting. She has a beautiful script, but those of us who still write in cursive know it's all different. Number four, make people who own property in Highland Park cut the grass and the weeds. On Victor, the old linen company and other places, the City of Highland Park, next to Family Dollar. I believe she's asking for a repair of the asphalt. And she says here, and I quote, it's a damn shame. She's complaining about some of the workers that are doing work in the city and also the way that our trash is being picked up. Ms. Gatling has some complaints about the contractors leaving a mess in the city. She says she had to curse one of them out because some of the concrete bricks on her street on Pasadena after 4 months were broke doing some of the curb repairs. And lastly, she made a comment about the homeless people in the city need warming centers because they're sleeping at bus stops and sleeping on a Family Dollar and sleeping in the parking lot of the Kentucky Fried Chicken. I've taken more than my 2 minutes, but I just want to thank her for taking the time to write this letter. If you can't come to the meeting, if you can't get on Zoom, go ahead and write the letter. If I get more letters like this from citizens, I will be happy to read them. In fact, I'm going to take it upon myself. I'll talk about it more during council affairs, but I think we're missing the boat. There are a lot of people who are historical Highland Park residents that we're not hearing from. So I would like to thank Ms. Gatling at 76 Pasadena for reaching out to me and sending me this letter. I greatly appreciate it. So I'm going to open it up for citizen participation. We will be doing a Highland Park 2 minutes, which is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Typically can't get it all in that short period of time. And I'm going to open the floor up during citizens participation. You may discuss any issue that you would like. I see you're in line, sir. Come on up to the podium. I'll get my timer set. I will wait until you give us your full name. And if you could start with your full name and if you could be succinct and share with us what you would like to. Go right ahead, sir.
Good evening, President Thomas. My name is Sharif Dyer, and I'd like to, introduce myself to the city today. I've been a business owner in the city for the last 4 years. I own the property located at 16111 Oakland. And I also own the lot adjacent to it, 16141 Oakland. And in the middle of that lot, there is, by the legal description, a lot that is 3 feet by 10 feet, right? And that lot is 16143, which I put an offer in to purchase. And next to that lot, 254 Cantler is a lot that I own. And for the last 4 years, I've maintained that lot. We've been good tenants of the city of Highland Park. We paid our water bill. We paid our taxes. We have probably, myself, I say we, I'm talking about my entity that I own. I personally have invested in the city of Highland Park without any request from the city over $200,000, right? The building that I own there, I clean, I maintain it. If you drive by that building during the springtime, it's well maintained, clean. There's never any debris outside. And I personally have been there picking up trash whenever kids are walking by, dropping debris. And so the confusion about the lot, where it is and where it's located, you could simply on landgrid.com, I have a document here where it actually shows what I own in that 3x10 lot, which is 16143 Oakland, which I've maintained. And we've been good tenants for the city in the city of Highland Park. And so I would hope, and it is my hope, that in the future, when this sale is brought back up, that you've seen that I've come here in good faith. I've been at meetings where there was developers there. I've offered information to the other developers free of charge. I'm a real estate broker. I have a law degree. I've done a number of things without just on my own, being a good tenant. So I just wanted to introduce myself to you all. And I look forward in the future to you hearing a resolution about me purchasing this 3x10 lot. If you simply look at the legal description, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I know there were some concerns earlier about another lot across the street. That is not the lot that we are interested in buying. It's simply a 3x10 lot. And we've been maintaining it for the last 4 years. And think about it, I have a family. I've taken my own cash and put into the city of Highland Park because I believe in the city when other people wouldn't even do it. So that I have no loans on the building. I paid my water bill, my taxes. And so theoretically, I think likely in water bill and taxes, my minutes are probably up. I likely probably given the city of Highland Park just in taxes and water bill. And you know, we get a monthly water bill and statement. We're not even connected to the water. I've tried to figure out how we got disconnected. I'm sure I've spent $40,000.
So is that red box right there?
That is it.
That is it.
Yes.
Okay.
That red box, that's 16143. And it's actually
Council President.
That is right on Oakland Avenue. That is one of those. That's it.
It's 3x10.
So each one of these different boxes come as a
I
council?
own that blue box, and I own Chandler. That's 254 Chandler, and go over to the next box right here, right in the front is where my building is. Go up here, Thomas. You see the reds? Nope, go back. Nope, go down. Other way, other direction.
By the red box.
By the red box.
By the red box.
Not that's 1643. Go to the next one.
This is your building.
That's my building.
Okay.
And if you go there, listen, that building looks clean. You have not had a ticket. No one's come over. You dropped a bottle. You didn't do it. Listen, it is clean. It is not a nuisance, right? And I understand what a nuisance looks like. And in fact, I've owned in the city of Detroit prior to law school, I owned close to 1,000 houses. I don't own that many now, but I've never had not one ticket, no issue from the city of Detroit. And I'm here in good faith saying, listen,
What's your business?
So I'm gonna
the name of that business that owns the building is called Peripheral Industries. So I specifically incorporated that building for the specific ownership of that property. And I own that property and the 2 other lots. So the lot that I'm looking to purchase is landlocked. No one can do anything with it.
I'm gonna pause you, Mr. Sharif. We are well over our 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
I extended your time by going to just get an understanding of it.
Yep.
I'm just returning to work.
Did you
I just wanted to make.
how much?
Quote for what?
First.
I think it was $500. It's $500.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah,
Do we have an additional citizen that would like to come up and speak?
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Come on up, ma'am, and as soon as you give us your name, I'll go ahead and start the timer.
I gave you my card.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I gave you my card.
I got it.
Okay, you got it? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lisa. Stolarski, and I'm the treasurer of Highland Park. I have a couple of things to share with you tonight and a couple of questions to ask. So a couple of weeks ago, I endeavored to collect the contracts for the various checks that were going out so that I could familiarize myself with, all of the details of the various things that we're paying out on. And one check stuck out because it was so large. It was the water department check. It was for almost $1 million. I hung on to it for a little while, and I didn't hang on to it any longer because I had a family emergency that I had to go to, and I couldn't in good conscience continue to do that. But because I wanted it to, be paid in a timely fashion. But I wanted to point out that a couple of things that stuck out for me in that contract was that there were activities. I'm sorry. It was an hourly invoice for the water department with no activities connected to the hourly rates that people were being, we were being charged for. Now, I did contract work myself for many years, and I would never have dreamed of putting that kind of an invoice in that doesn't have the actual work that I did for all of the hours. So that was one thing. And the other thing was that the contract that I actually was given was for 2016. And when I looked at the rates that we were being charged in the invoice, I noticed that they were about double, more or less, what the rates were in 2016. And I calculated them as being between 60% and 150% more, comparing as best I could apples to apples. So the inflation rate since 2016 is 31%. So I would like to know why the rates have gone up that much from the water department. The other thing that I wanted to mention.
So I'm going to pause you right here, Mr. Lars. I'm going to ask you a question. Are you speaking as a resident or are you speaking as a treasurer?
I'm speaking as the treasurer.
Okay, so this is citizens participation.
Okay. Would you like me to sit down?
No, ma'am. I want to give you another 30 seconds to finish. I'm giving you I've gone slightly over. I gave that gentleman a couple seconds. Go ahead and take the next 30 seconds.
Okay, so the other topic that I have to talk about, and this has to do with the full accountability you guys were talking about recently, is that there's a thing called the tax distribution to other governments that the treasurer is supposed to do. And that job has been done by the administration, by the finance department since the spring, when I was not able to take my seat as treasurer because of the bonding issue that we're having. Those distributions are supposed to go out once every 15 days. And the administration hung on to many of them.
That's right, extra 30. So
Pardon?
That was the extra 30, ma'am. So we have 3 minutes now. So thank you so much.
Okay. So
no, ma'am. No. Thank you so much. That's your time. Thank you. All right.
Would you like for the police to take me out of here, or would you like me to finish?
No, ma'am. So we're gonna do. You're finished because everybody gets to do their time. Now that I'm back sitting in this chair, I'm going to be good with this time. So thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate your help. We have any additional citizen that would like to speak? You're gonna get your Highland Park 2 minutes, okay? And at the end of that, I'm gonna kindly ask you to allow us to finish, and so we can go ahead and handle our business and go home.
Yeah.
If
Hey,
you would
how
be
y'all
so kind
doing?
enough to state your name, and
Yeah,
then I'll
my name is
start your
Carla
time.
Oliver. I do have a question before I start my 2 minutes.
No, ma'am. We're gonna. It's
No,
all.
the citizen says 2 minutes on any subject. Technically, she's on subject number 2.
So let me stop you
So
right
that's
there,
the
ma'am.
question.
Man, let me
It's
stop
just
you
a
right there.
question.
No, let me stop you right there. So this is on this side of the room. This is city council.
That's a question.
Man, I'm gonna have you sit down.
I'm asking you a question.
Yeah, you want to take this part of your 2 minutes and 30 seconds? So
No.
let me.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Thomas, right?
Do you mind if I run my meeting?
Go ahead.
Okay. So
I asked you a question.
Miss Oliver, I'm 1 second from saying thank you and have a good night. I'm 1 second from that. As I said to you before, we post our meetings, we put the paperwork that says a citizen may speak for 2 minutes on any topic of their choosing. When you come up to the podium, please talk to me about the thing that you want to talk to me about. Please don't tell me how to do my meeting. Are you ready?
Hold on, wait. Let me say this first. I
No,
asked a
ma'am. Okay, you
question.
can. So is your question?
No, no,
You've
no,
already
no. That
taken
was
part of
just a
your-
question. So this is what I want to say on my 2 minutes. My
Okay,
name is
and it's
Carla
gonna be
Oliver
2 minutes because
speaking.
you've already taken more than
So
30 seconds.
technically, I want to say that we always talk about culture and mindset. Culture and mindset starts with us. And that was my concern with this young lady coming up missing. I just had a distant relative with the same situation. We have to stop comparing apples to oranges. The city of Detroit is 139 square miles. The city of Highland Park is only 3. Out of one district that we consume only 3% of that, out of one of the 11 districts in the city of Highland Park compared to the city of Detroit. And with that saying, we have about 12 blocks on the north side of Davidson and maybe 16 on the south side of Davidson. Is no way, because everybody keeps talking about we meet criteria as far as resources, as far as manpower or lack of, maybe 2 or 3 people. We technically have enough people to patrol every day, all day long. In any other district or any other city, they're on the beat. They're not hanging out. So we need more people patrolling. This is the mindset that I'm talking about. Based on, we can't continue to roll off of the lack of resources comparing to Detroit. We're more on a terms of size with Ferndale and Royal Oak. We should be treating our city the exact same way. People go in that city knowing they can't violate it because of the patrolling. We need to do the same thing. So at the end of the day, we need to stop hearing, oh, we don't have the manpower or the resources. It all comes down to strategy. That's it. If you have skilled, experienced people in place, these things can happen effectively. That's already been shown with DPW within the past summer and fall. So it's possible. We need people in place to do so.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Oliver. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other citizens?
Hi, Josh.
Good evening.
Could you state your name for the record, sir?
Joshua Lemire, and can I get a North Minneapolis 3 minutes?
Hold on a second, Josh. Let me give you 2:30. Okay, go for it.
So one of the things that I love about actually living in this city is I get to see what's happening. So I was at the Grand Liquor Store. That's where I do all my shopping, getting a pack of Cools. And there were these ugly white guys outside of Farron Park Apartments.
Please don't make derogatory statements about a person's race, sir. Did you call it? You said ugly and white guys.
I believe Caucasian is the preferred nomenclature, and the things that you've said about me at a women's shelter, we can discuss that off the record. But
what are you talking about?
I'm talking about Miss Diane Pears, sir. But again, we can take that outside. But anyways.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Anyways, so I got my pack of Cools, lit one up, and I said, "Good afternoon, fellas. What are you doing?" And they said, "We're trying to figure out how to milk Uncle Sam to tear down the Farron Park Apartments." And I said, "Interesting." I went to the CEO of Albert Kahn and Associates 2-3 years ago, and they said they'd foot the bill to turn the Farron Park Apartments into 99 residential units and 8 storefront units. Now, I'm not an economist or, I don't have my funny hat on, so I really don't know how to do math, but that's a lot of tax dollars. And I'm pretty sure that if we could get the Farron Park done, then we could get the Highland Towers done. But these lovely gentlemen and model American citizens, they wanted to tear them both down. And I have been working on preserving those buildings personally for the last decade. So I took great offense to that. So I'd just like to say to the MEDC, if you're tuned in, can we look at 18 million so we can provide suitable, safe, clean, affordable housing to the people who actually live in Highland Park, Michigan? Mr. MEDC, are you on the line? So with that, that's my thought for the day. And I'd just like to say that I was at the Great Lakes Water Authority Board meeting the other day, and I gave a riveting testimony. If anybody had the opportunity to watch it on Zoom, please give me notes. I'm working on my public speaking. They haven't released it yet, so we're going to have to FOIA them. So that's my North Minneapolis 3. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
ma'am.
My
Would you
name
start-
is
state your name,
Lucy
please?
Fry.
Thank you so much.
Sorry about your loss. I knew that baby when she was in that little stroller when I first came to Highland Park. Yeah. So anyway, now just hearing Mr. Damon got $1 million almost, I know my water bill can go down. Goddamn. I swear I know my water bill can go down. I know because it was only promised for 6 months. Now we into over a year. What we promised 6 months, y'all? Y'all supposed to be like, yeah, y'all know y'all was here. We was promised 6 months. Now the water bill is just outrageous. And now that GLE was going up, that's going to be very effective on us, I'm sure. So I don't know what's all that's working on. And so at the last council meeting, I heard the mayor say that she had a discussion with about something I don't really remember, but this is what I want to ask about with her compensation board. I don't recall she having a compensation board, but maybe she does. And I do want to know when was it formed and who's on it. Do y'all council people know?
She didn't say she had one. She said you have to go to it. She didn't say we had.
She said my compensation board, me and the compensation board. She included herself, me and the go back and listen.
Okay.
Go back and listen. Me and the compensation board, and doing the charter, I know she should have had one in a month of being the mayor. So that would be good to know of a compensation board. That's perfect, That's why you have she's in that position. Okay. So the master meters, Mr. Damon, what you were talking about, does it include the master meters? When the master meters gonna go in?
They're in construction right now,
Where at?
down here on Webb, and they will be over on John.
They working now? I'm going to take pictures. I gotta see that. I gotta see that. And so, and another question that was mentioned at the last meeting that didn't seem to get completed. Now, if she can't get a bond, Lisa Storgolowski, whatever the name is, who is bonded? They saying no one. So who is handling the money? Can I get an answer? I just want to answer, like, who's handling the money? I really want to answer because it's our money. It's the people's money. That's why I come here, because it's the people's money. It's our money. Who's handling the money? Miss Square, you might can answer it. You're handling the money. You signing the check. She's not handling the money. She's not signing the check. She said.
Excuse me, Miss Fry.
Okay, then. Well,
I gave you
hell.
3 minutes.
I just wanted to. Can I get an answer?
I gave you 3 minutes because I know.
That wasn't no 3 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so anyway, if y'all want to come after here and have a good time at 90s Knowledge Cafe, and thank y'all for sending someone out to finish my inspection. It went well, it passed, and I'm excited about that. They did a Donald Goins preview tonight. They made the film part of it at the store if y'all want to come and check it out. It's so fun.
Thank you, ma'am. Hey, Miss Gracie.
Hi, my name's Gracie Wooten. I live on Easton Street, and I just want to talk to you. I know a lot of you are having the same kind of frustrations that I am about how our government is going, with this mass coup. And I've been really concerned about, personally about Social Security, about Medicare, about Medicaid, and also most of the departments that are being gutted. One of the departments that's really key to it preys on my heart is the way that they're planning to handle the Department of Education. I taught for a number of years. I'm an old school teacher, so I'm still affiliated with the American Federation of Teachers, retiree chapter. And we're very concerned about the cuts that are planning or that could happen to our children. We have to protect our children. So what I did was bring a copy of some facts for you. about the cuts that Trump and his co-president Musk are planning to make to the Department of Education. So I wanted to pass it out here. And, people really have to be concerned about the least of us. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are what we should be about. When you say people are woke, we all should be woke, and so I want to, and you can't have education without talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. When you think about the children are not widgets, they're not parts. So you have to individually reach children and protect them. So, cuts to, for our special ed, cuts to the kind of programs that we need to assist children are very important. And we want to, and all of us should be telling parents that we need to fight back against any cuts to education. So I want to just leave this with you. I have about 25 copies. So I'm going to just leave them for everybody. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any other citizen that would like to be heard?
No, I don't mind this.
Ms. Ford, come on up.
Come on. How you doing, Ms. Ford?
Good evening. My name is Renee Ford. I live on West Buena Vista. A couple of questions. And this is, I don't know if I can address the lawyer and he could answer later. I've been complaining, and Najee's code enforcer has been telling me they're giving tickets out to my next door neighbor because of the overhang of the trees. DTE came out, and I've been discussing it, and I'm putting it back on record if I have to say it every month until somebody answers me. He's saying it's in court or waiting on judge or whoever. Only thing he could do is write tickets. But we're steady selling property to this young man. And most of his houses are the blue houses. If you come on Buena Vista, you'll see two of them that are blue. If you go on Avalon across Hamilton, they're blue. But he's getting all these tickets. So if my wires go down or my mom's wires go down, which we were fortunate, we didn't have any ice storms or anything. Plus I have a playscape that I paid over a little bit of money for. And his limbs are hanging over my yard. Everyone is telling me I'm responsible for getting them out. DTE won't touch it because they're in our yards. So I want to know what's taking so long for you to do something to this guy. How many tickets? And I've been there 5 years, back 5 years. So how long do we keep writing tickets, but we steady selling him property? My next question is, we come to city council, and I know I'm cutting short. We come to city council as citizens, as to discuss what's going on in our city. I had a question. I heard our treasurer say she held on to a check. Why is she holding on to a check if it was supposed to be paid to a vendor or a contractor or whatever? Because if they don't get paid, we're going to lose these vendors. We're going to lose these contractors. So again, I asked the question, is she bonded? And why is she holding on to, I'm going to say, a $5,000 check? But regardless of the fact, why is she holding on to the check? Because if I bring a check here, I expect you to cash it out so I can know what my bank account looked like. So that's a couple of questions I need answered. And I'm going to bring these same questions every month if I have to. Because after 5 years, them limbs in my mama's yard, I can't deal with them.
Follow-up question.
Go ahead.
To Ms. Ford.
Ms. Ford, what's the address of the property that you're asking about? I'd like to discuss with Mr. Malone.
191, 193. Wait a minute. 193, 195 is my mom's, so it's going to the left of her. So it's 199 and 197.
Buena Vista?
West Buena Vista.
West Buena Vista.
It's the blue house.
Okay, thank you.
And it's been 5 years, and he has had tickets, and I have seen the tickets written to him.
Okay, thank you for that follow-up.
Thank you.
No, ma'am, you already had your time. Have a seat.
Oh, no, I'm here as the treasurer to
No,
answer Ms.
remove her,
Ford's
please.
question.
Remove her. She's not, this is not the treasurer's meeting, this is city council
Would you
meeting.
like to remove me?
You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
Just go ahead.
Thank you.
You're not gonna do that. No. Go ahead and go away.
Oh, go
And sit
ahead and
down.
sit down.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Um,
Okay, excuse me, ma'am. This is a city council meeting. If you're in the city of Detroit, you'd be in handcuffs right now. Please have a seat. Thank you very much.
treasurer, and I'm the treasurer.
So when she'll come to your office, This is not your meeting.
Come on now. Come on, just have a seat. Yeah. Come on.
This is not your meeting.
Just wait till next.
This is not your meeting. Yeah, you can address her out in the hallway. There's a person that wants to talk to the treasurer. You're the treasurer. Talk to her there. Do we have any additional citizens that would like to speak? If not, we'll move into council affairs. Starting with, go right ahead, ma'am. Please state your name. I'll start the timer for you. And-
Cassandra Walker, and I live on Grove Street here in Highland Park, longtime resident. What I observed recently when we had the snow, and I've noticed the businesses are not shoveling their sidewalk. And I watched a senior with a walker try to get through that. And I'm asking the city, would they please make the businesses please shovel the snow for the seniors?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, I don't see any more people moving there, so I'm going to move into council affairs, starting with you, Mr. Ashafi. Please, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Quickly to Mr. Lemire. Is he still here? He's gone? Okay. The Albert Kahn building on Farron Park is protected by the Historical Preservation Society. They can offer all that they want. They'll never tear that building down. They have to restore it. Okay, it's protected by the state, so they have to restore it. I don't know if anybody had an opportunity to see the water rate hike from the Great Lakes Water Authority. Okay, so I'm calling on every single Highland Parker. Do what you did the last time for us. Let's go back to the state. Let's get back to our representatives. I think the Great Lakes Water Authority needs a reality check. And that reality check is their asses need to be regulated, just like DTE is regulated. Yeah. They need to be regulated. And we need to fight for that regulation. Everybody needs to pitch in and make sure that we hit up every politician that is in our district that is representing us and let them know that we want the Great Lakes Water Authority regulated. They need to be regulated. They have a lot of nerves after they gave us a deal that we can barely pay for now. Now they want to raise the heights, which is going to make, now they want to hike the rates, which is going to make it harder for us to pay the agreed upon amount that we're already paying, in addition to what they want more. Okay, we have a contract with them. We have an agreement with them. We fought like hell for that agreement. All of you fought like hell for that agreement. Okay, you were up in Lansing every week over that agreement. Okay, now we had a deal, and that deal was contingent on them holding up their end of the bargain. They're not holding up their end of the bargain if they're raising the water rates on a city that's barely getting by as it is. It's unacceptable. Okay, and I'm not the only one in whom they're sticking it to. They're sticking it to the entire state of Michigan. Everybody on the lower half of the state gets their water from the Great Lakes Water Authority all the way to Flint and on beyond. They get their water from the Great Lakes Water Authority. Okay, so they're making more than enough money. Why are they trying to bleed everybody? Why every time we turn around, they want to have a yearly rate hike as if they suffering? Okay, if they stop pocketing the money and do their damn jobs, they wouldn't have them big ass water main breaks like they had on the west side of Detroit that froze 6 feet of water and left people's cars trapped in that water. Homes and basements flooded. They had to be evacuated by boat. Okay, so if they were doing their job, they wouldn't have to worry about breaks like that. But there's no reason we should have to pay and suffer as a result of that. So we need to stand up and fight, HP. I'm telling you that this fight is not over by far. especially until we get the meters in the ground. This fight is ongoing. And even after those meters is in the ground and they agreed to put the meters in the ground, they're going to try to deny the results of that and say, well, that could be construed as anything. No, the fight continues, ladies and gentlemen. And you know how water is in the city. Okay, talking about our water is like talking about our mama. Don't make me hurt you. All right? I'll tell you, don't make me hurt you now. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you that we need to stand up and fight. We need to get back out there this summer and make them feel our presence just like we made them feel it last summer. I'm counting on all of you. And I thank you, HP. Love you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Manica.
I actually don't have anything this evening other than thank you for coming. I actually agree though with Mr. Shafi. Guys, you need to speak up. You need to go to those meetings because it has to be regulated at some point. So you need to write your Congress people, your representatives, your senators, everybody who has a say to create a bill or to create some type of regulation, whoever that may be. And so we got to start there. So writing real good letters to them saying, hey, we need some regulations. What is this doing to us? Regards to water. I said it before, water is very, very important to communities as a whole. If I want to get rid of you, I get rid of the water.
Yeah.
Okay. So until we speak up on those matters, a lot of other things are not going to matter. So again, I totally agree with Councilman on writing to the respected people and saying, look, this is what happened. If you have to look it up first so that you write a real good letter stating the case of why water is so important. But I guarantee you, they actually already know. And if we could regulate our own water, that would be a different story. But we have to move forward on some other things first before we can get there. I thank you guys for coming out. I do thank you for listening and understanding. Those people that I said I would speak to after the meeting, I will come out there and speak to you in regards to those things. The other thing is I'm still requesting from administration and CED an update. And so I will put it in writing, an update on all projects, all development. We cannot move forward with those mistakes. We cannot. I don't know how many times I can say this. You can spin around it, you can go around it, but we have got to correct the mistakes or create new ordinance, correct old ordinance, bring us up to speed. Rushing is not going to fix the problem. It's not. And we need to sell property or get development from more, I don't want to say lucrative, but we need to think bigger than we're thinking. Because we have got to generate the revenue. I don't care how much we're saying, okay, because we sell you a lot or we sell this small little piece, how much revenue does that actually really bring into the city to help move the city along? So indeed, that is more of my plea on that second half to administration. And I've already actually talked to them. We have to think bigger when we talk about our development. We can give all the property away, little pieces here and there. That is not exactly going to bring the revenue in that the city actually needs. There was a couple of, I think they were already answered, Ms. Ford. The lawyer actually I was gonna say you need to talk to probably go to the police meeting but the lawyer seems like he's gonna handle that for you. I don't see her. I probably just can't see her. Mention about the education piece. Please also go to the school board meeting. Miss Gracie, is she still right here? She's here. Okay. Make sure you go to that meeting too, so you could pass it out to maybe their parents, because that is the education piece. Or maybe even ask if you can, go to a parent conference meeting. Oh, yeah, conference meeting that either school in our city is having, and then pass out that information. And maybe you could even speak at it to express how you feel about education, because those are the great place that you're going to get the parents, the people that are here, not that they're not parents. They are here for some other issues and other things, and they may pass it on, may not, but definitely if you're in one of those educational settings, I think that would be a great place for you to pass out that information as well. I think that is it for me this evening. Again, thank you. If you have any questions, same thing, please email us or email the president. And if it's to me, he'll get it to me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Pro Tem.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I did request a workshop for today to speak to the treasurer to ask her questions and to bring the planning people back, which is McKenna, so we can see how much in advance we've done with the ordinances to make some of this stuff make sense to us. But the workshop was canceled, and I'll keep asking for workshops because that's what the mayor said. That's the only way that she's going to allow us to speak to her department heads is we call a workshop. And with that said, if anybody have any questions for me in the way that I vote, I will explain everything to you and show you why I vote the way I vote. And God bless you guys, and I love you.
Thank you, ma'am. So this is my first city council meeting for 2025. On January 18th of this year, I lost my youngest daughter. She was 16 years old. Senior in high school. And beautiful. And the people of this community reached out to my wife and I as best they could. And they showered us with messages of love and condolence. I am unable to describe to you what it feels like, but I can tell you that it is soul scraping. My daughter did not want me on city council. And when I sat in this chair and took my oath of office, I had a sick child at home. I tried to convince my daughter and my family that I was doing this job because somewhere in this town is a single mother. Somewhere in this town is kids whose daddy cannot be on city council. And that I was doing it not just for my own child, but for all the 16-year-old kids in the city of Highland Park. And when I woke up on January 19th, I realized that I had become a member of a club in this city. Dozens of mothers, fathers, grandmothers, and grandfathers who buried a child. There's no way for me to honor my daughter other than to come and do my job here to the best of my ability. And I want to remind my colleagues, very rarely do we talk about children in this room. We're a bunch of old people. And thank you for bringing those babies here tonight. Thank you. I didn't know how much I needed to hear that. And they inspire me. My daughter is gone. And I can't do anything for her. None of us can. But we can do something for them. We can sit in these chairs and make decisions that will affect their future. And we can stop this curse, because everybody that I know with high school age children in the city of Highland Park is suffering because they tell you as soon as they turn 18, they cannot wait to get out of here. Like generation after generation after children who have run away from this city because they didn't see no hope and they didn't see a future. That can't be. We can't let that be. So to honor my daughter, I'm going to do whatever I can for all the children that are left. Highland Park was her only home for her entire life. And wherever she went, she said she was going home to Highland Park. I love you, baby. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.